Got them primered, got them sanded down, ready for the second coat of primer. Hopefully last coat, you never know. But they're looking good. Had a little place there that need to be redone. I hit it with the sander in the wrong direction. So letting the glue set up there a minute. Getting ready to wet the floor down. We're getting ready to paint. That's old trick in the trade if you're not in a nice down draft, side draft, whatever draft floor. You've always got a little dust on the floor, don't care what you do. So if you just wet her down a little bit, just sprinkle her down wherever you're going to be dragging the hose. Well, you won't stir that dust up and you won't get near as many of them hairy looking things sticking up in your paint. It's worked for years. Alrighty, just get her damp. That'll knock the dust down when you drag your hose through it. Lift struts are gone. We thought we'd try to fly it like a 210, you know, without the struts. Go faster. Tried to fit the cowling on here today. Got the boot cowl on, got it fitted. We haven't trimmed here yet, but we're not going to have to trim much. It's you can see the line here. It's just going to have to be kind of be straightened up there a little bit. Looks to me like we're. I really don't know how big a gap I'm going to shoot for a 1/4 inch. You know, something about like that. There's no set rule. I've seen them from 2-inch gap to 1/8 inch gap, you know, so I don't want to be too tight on the gap there. If he's going for a speed demon, it might affect some, but we're not. I'm going to go fast. So, trim and fit, trim and fit, trim and fit until she fits, I guess. We'll let you know as we go. Hood insulation mount number 37.
Oh yeah, oh, it's already going, so they got it.
About 20 more times I think we're going to have it. I don't know. 8 hours into it now. With two today, 3 yesterday. We've got her on, we've got it fitted. All the Clecos are in, we're ready to drill them out for the cam locks, get them mounted. A nice line all the way around our spinner, so we're happy with that. And it all lines up good. The lines on it are pretty good, around all the way around, up and down and sideways, and pretty happy with all that. So now the real work starts coming. I mean, this was quite a bit of work to get this thing to fit on here, but Now we got to take it apart and start putting all the air scoops and stuff on it that takes air into the engine where you want air to be. And we have to drill all these out. We have to put in these fasteners, cam locks they call them. We've got a picture here. If you want to know how they go in, right there's your instructions. But here's what they are. They're riveted in. The two small hose gets riveted. The center section is adjustable. It screws in and out for what depth you want it, and then this pin, after you're done, the pin locks it in place. But that way, for whatever thickness of material you're putting together, well, you can adjust this where everything fits perfect. Here's the part that quarter turns. They just go into those a quarter turn. You can see the slot, and it locks like all your cowlings and stuff on. Makes them easy to take them on and off. So that's what we're getting ready to, and of course they all get riveted on. There's your bag of rivets. So that's where we're at. We're getting ready to start disassembling again. Just wanted to get a shot of it before we did, and we're ready to start putting the cam locks in. So we'll let you know as we go. Okay. Working on the cowlings a little bit. This mark back here, the one that's marked that it's the right mark and not the one that is marked wrong mark, but the ones that are marked right, you measure off of them up to 8 5/16 inches to get this line here. No, to get this line here, which then you go an 1/8 inch forward. Well, that all stems from the oil cooler and the radiator. So those numbers that they give you, if the world was perfect, would work very good. We went ahead and mounted this. This is supposed to be mounted 3/16 inch off the bottom of the cow. So we put our blocks in here and put the cowling back on the bottom. Mounted it back on the bottom. Measured this. Then we got our mark to drill the top mounting hose here, one on each side. We already had the radiator system built several videos ago. So we went ahead and hung it, and then you have to mount your back brace here. This one here goes up to where your nose gear would go if you had a nose wheel. So we went ahead and hung that the best of our ability straight with the cowling. So then, now you hang your cowling back on there and you find out where this duct goes. We were off about that much right there. 1/8 inch. Well, I got a tape measure in my hand, I guess. We were off about, 1/8 inch, depending on which part of the line you go by. This is actual mark we marked off of the radiator while the cowling was mounted a while ago. So now we want the air duct to be 1/8 of an inch in front of your radiator. So really this 8 5/16 measurement that they give you in the book is a good starting point, but you'll have to fine tune that for however your radiator mount comes out. So ours came out about that far off right there. So we moved our mark out 1/8 inch from our actual radiator. Now we are transitioning this piece back and forth. You have to trim you have to trim this piece now, which fits when the cowling was on. It actually goes up under here and fits up against your radiator. Now I'm assuming you want a little gap here. I'm assuming the turbo hits there. You can see across there. There is a piece that comes with it. I have to cut a hole out there and put a depression in for that sump there on the turbo on the other side. So you can pretty well fit this up with it without it being on the cow. Of course, we've mounted it 5 times with the cow on it to get all this mounting correct. But I think we've about got it okay. I mean, it's going to have to be fine-tuned a little bit more. So I have to cut a place out there. There's a piece that comes with it that goes in there. I'll show that to you after a while. So something like that. But anyway, you cut it out, something like that. It does not tell you how to cut it out. It says cut it out to fit. So that's what fits our application. You'll have to fit yours. It will get mounted in there, and you will end up cutting out this 9-inch hole in the front of it for air to come in. You put heat shielding on it after you get it mounted. There's a little divot I was showing you a while ago. It's got to be cut out for the turbo. So I will cut a 9-inch hole in the front of this through the cowling for air to come in, and then this NACA duct spreads it out to match your radiators, your oil cooler and your radiator. So that's what we're doing now. There's several NACA duct goes in these cows, so we're getting ready to, we're just trying to get them all fit right now. Okay, after final testing, our cut ended up straight across, and we cut it back some. When it was in the cowling, it was too hard to get up without hitting the oil cooler, so I knowed we was going to mess up some fins. So you just keep cutting until you're clear of that oil, till you're clear of the oil cooler, and then when you're putting your cowling on, it will just simply slide right up there like that. And of course, this is supposed to have an 1/8 gap the way you laid it out. So that comes on and off easy. Not supposed to make contact. When the cardboard's not on there, it won't hit the fin. So that's where we ended up, and that's what works. That's the turbo cutout for the drain there on the turbo, right there. That's what ours ended up looking like. It's ready to mount. First carbon fiber I've ever sanded. Seems to sand better than fiberglass. Got our lip on there, they call it. Not sure the proper name, but it creates a suction going through the sky. Sucks a lot more air out of the cowling. More air, the better cooling. That's what it's for. They put that on. That's an add-on when they went to the turbocharged engines. They couldn't get enough air through there, so that's supposed to fix the problem. Hopefully it did. All right, we got the radiator scoop and a little spot where your turbo drain hangs, and the air box mounted. I got one coat of Superfill on them, one sanding trip. Looks like one more. I need to give them one more filling maybe, and probably be good. So got two scoops in. The bottom cow is coming along. Starting to work on the top one over here now, as you see. And we'll keep you updated as we go. I had a lot of time to work on it, but hopefully get a little time this week, maybe. Hope you all have a good week. Planting some grass seed today. We just planted wheat last year, but we're seeding down. Number one helpers. Yes, I did give her the opportunity to drive, but she don't like to drive, so she's back there making sure the fescue seeds all flowing down the drill. I think we're seeding 900 feet is what we ended up gonna have here. We figured the rest of it, because we had power lines down at this end of the field, why we figured it wasn't usable for landing anyway, so we just made it 900 by 60.